The odds were stacked against me. I won anyway. Because I win. Guys like you always think other people get lucky. I don't get lucky. I make my own luck.
If you haven't gotten what you want, then you're not worthy of it, period. Better to know you're bad for a season than pretend you're good for a lifetime.
Everybody, when I was sleeping on the gym floor, right? Like, I was the underdog, and everyone, my clients were all like, "Oh, good for you. You're going after your dream." And they'd see my blanket and my pillow in the corner of the gym, and they knew I was sleeping there, and it was evident. I lived there. That everybody was like pro me, and then people would come in, they sign up like, "I'm gonna support you," right? And then within 9 months, I had hired people, and I had a manager, and I pulled up, and I remember I walked in the lobby, and all the same people were like, "Oh, boss man's here. Oh, you're not too good for us now," right? And that was when I realized that people want you to do well, but not better than them.
You're doing all of this stuff. You're learning all of these fucking productivity techniques, and you're watching these YouTube videos, and you're listening to these podcasts, and you're taking these online courses, and you've got Skillshare, and you've got Readwise, and you're doing spaced repetition and morning routine, and you have no idea if it's going to work. But the thing is, no one has any idea if it's going to work. If you knew that it was going to work, there would be no risk in doing it, because it would be certain.
I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just because you don't like the way another nigga talk.
And that's what's painful, is that it takes more effort to start in the beginning, and more people are right about the fact, they're like, "Hey, you're not going to hit it big." And guess what? A month in, you're not. But they're only measuring on months. And at 6 months, you're also not going to have hit it big yet. And they're going to be like, "I'm still fucking right." And at a year, you're still not going to have hit it big. And they'll still be fucking right. And every day that you haven't hit it, they're going to feel like they were right. But they're wrong, because they're measuring in days and you're measuring in decades. I think it's just giving yourself permission to suck. It's giving yourself permission to be unhappy. It's giving yourself permission to not achieve while you do for a long period of time. It's giving yourself permission to lose friends, to be an exception so that you can become exceptional.
Reminder that if you want to be exceptional, you're going to be different from everyone else. That's what makes you exceptional. You can't fit in and also be exceptional. Both have discomfort. When your friends start to say, "You've changed," remember, it's because they don't know how to say, "You've grown."
Every single person who wants to do something with their life and has done something with their life has gone through the exact chapter that you're going through. And it's the lonely chapter. It's the chapter where you don't fit in with your own friends, but you don't have the outcomes yet to fit into a new group of friends. And you're going through this and you're like, is this even worth it? Because you have no signs of success, right? But if there's anything that you can take away from what we're saying right now, is that the sign of success is the hate that you get along the way. You've been down that road and you know exactly where it leads. And I know that's not where you want to be. Like right now, you could go back, but then you'd have to remember exactly what the reason was that you decided not to go out to begin with, just because you listen to this podcast and you consume this content, and you're like, I can fucking do more than this.
I suffered on my own and developed this man who said, "It's who I am, man. Triple down on your fucking weaknesses. This is real life. 90% of your life will suck. 10% will be fucking happy."
I was alone all the time. All I did was be alone. I was alone in my room playing. I was alone in the schoolyard. I was alone in lessons. I was alone walking home.
I've trained 99% of my life alone. No one pat me on the back. I did all of the work alone. And while I'm still hard on myself, I know what I did.
You can try to be lucky and pick the one perfect thing and try and make it, but if you don't want to try and be lucky, you can just do so much fucking work that you will brute force your way to figuring it out. Like if you do 1,000 podcasts, you'll be pretty fucking good at podcasts, right? But if you try to say, okay, you're brand new, and all you have to do is make one perfect podcast. The problem is that you don't have the perspective from which to make a judgment to say what is good, because you have zero data to base anything off of.
Those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream.
Wisdom comes from experience, and experience takes time. The more experience you have, the more you learn from that experience, the wiser you can get. If you haven't lived long enough to have a broad enough portfolio of experience, then you can't expect to have knowledge and wisdom.
You don't know that it's going to work, but that is the challenge. The challenge is no certainty. That's the way it is. And the painful cost of being exceptional is getting through that uncertainty.
The one thing that made me who I am today is being vulnerable. It's breaking myself down to the absolute rock bottom and being able to tell people who I am. And that's how I fixed it. Literally, being able to look somebody in the eye and say, you know what, man, I have a whole bunch of character problems, character flaws. You know, life created this person, me. Life created me to be this fucked up person that I was back in the day. And I had to realize, man, that's okay, man. It's not my fault. Now I gotta go back and fix this shit though. But no one's coming back to save your ass. You have to go back to where the shit started, wherever that place is for everybody, and have the courage to go back there and start fixing what broke you. You wanna be uncommon amongst uncommon people, period.
You have to do it like your life depends on it. Whatever time that you have to attack like you're trying to save the world. You're trying to save your life. You don't want to drown. That 1.5 hours a day that you have to write, God damn, you better be caffeinated and motivated. You got to go. You got to get after it. And you got to have discipline. Most people don't have those things. Most people don't understand what it's like to really go for something. And to know that the consequences of not doing that are horrific.
Your family's looking for that one guy right now. They're looking for that one guy who's strong, who's that pillar for the family in hard times. Make sure they look around and find you.